Today I'll show you how to inlay crushed opal on a flat surface using UV resin. We'll make a cute manta ray pendant. My name is Basia and this is the art of metal smithing. Let's start with the tutorial. Let me show you what you'll need for this project. These are the tools you'll need for the inlay technique. For all the other tools needed for metal smithing, check out my video guide linked in the corner of this video and underneath in the description box. I'm going to be using brass sheet as backplate and a soft square-shaped sterling silver wire for bezel. You must use your mask, goggles and gloves. This job can get messy and you shouldn't touch or breathe in the dust or resin. You'll need sanding papers or sticks. Belt sander can be extremely useful if you have one. A little bowl of water and the main ingredient, a synthetic crushed opal. I've ordered a little bit online in medium and fine grade. I transferred it into small jars for easier access. We also need UV resin, clear hard type, fast curing. And then additionally you can use some pigments and powders like glow-in-the-dark powder or color shift mica powder. They can add extra spark and sheen. I'll try using these in my project. You'll also need a UV light. This can be a UV flashlight or a lamp like this. By the way, the resin products are from Let's Resin, which were kindly sent to me for testing. I ended up liking them a lot and wanted to share them in my video as an example of what you can use. This isn't sponsored. I genuinely like these products. Okay, let's start with the project. I'm cutting the brass sheet into smaller pieces. I'll need to sketch the manta so that I can use it as a guide while shaping the wire. I thought this may be the easiest approach to get the shape right because the wire will be too thick to bend it with pliers. It'll require annealing to soften it, and then I'll be shaping and cutting it into smaller pieces, kind of like puzzles. This green tape is just the sticky tape that I attached to the paper. It's much easier to place the wire this way. Time to solder everything together, but before we do that, I'll use texturing wheel to brush the metal sheet so that the surface isn't slippery. Randy from Gomeo Creations on YouTube, from whom I was learning inlay, recommended this step so that the resin may stick to the surface better. Now I need to transfer my wire onto the metal sheet for soldering, but since the pieces fit together well, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm using soldering paste here mostly because it's sticky, so it'll help me keep the wire pieces in place without moving. I've cleaned the metal in the pickle and quenched in clean water. I'm using coarse attachments and pendant mortar to clean the surface after soldering. There wasn't much excess solder to clean up, which is great, but I can see that there are some spots where the wire wasn't soldered flush with the backplate. This is just an exercise, but if I were to sell this, I would have gone and resoldered it. And now the part you've been waiting for, actual inlay. So let's jump right in. I'm transferring some resin onto this little silicone container. It will be easier to use a smaller amount. First, I'm adding a small layer of resin so that the opal will have something to stick onto. And then a little bit of that glow-in-the-dark powder. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but I just wanted to try it out. Let's start adding the pieces of the crushed opal. Also adding some of that sparkly mica powder. Now we have the first layer ready. Let's use the UV light to harden the resin. It's very fast, it only takes a minute or so. I'm adding more resin and opal pieces to fill out the pendant evenly. It's okay for the pieces to stick out, actually they should be, so that when you sand it out, the surface is even and without holes or cracks. Okay, it's done. As you can see, the opal sticks out, so now we will be sanding it down. For that, you can use sanding papers and sticks. Make sure to use water. It'll prevent the pieces from heating up too much and will help with the dust, which can be harmful. Wear your mask and goggles. This manual process can be long and tedious, so if you have a tool like belt sander, I highly recommend using it. After sanding the excess opal, the surface is evenly flat. So I'm going to go through medium and fine grades of sanding papers to finish the surface. All done! Looks great, doesn't it? Few more steps left. Let's turn this little manta into a pendant. After filing, I've used the bristle wheel attachments and a pendant motor to polish the metal. Unfortunately, the clip was corrupted and I wasn't able to include it here. All finished! What do you think? Unfortunately, I can see that there are a few spots I've missed, probably where little bubbles have formed, exposing holes in their place. It's worth double checking and filling the empty spots. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!